We've been told ad nauseum, okay, create this. Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Create this massive goal. This is what I get taught at life coaching too, right? Create this massive goal, don't say I want to make $100,000 a year. Say I want to make $100 million a year, right? Create these massive, these bags, right? These big, hairy, audacious goals for yourself. And you create these goals and you work really hard towards them. That's what most of us are taught, one way or another. Okay? We're taught this. And here's the problem. The more specific and the more big, hairy, and audacious your goal is, the more you just spend time tolerating your life, tolerating all the shit you have to go through to get that goal. Okay? I imagine quite a few of you feel like you're tolerating life until you get to a point you're trying to achieve. You're just tolerating this shit in the middle. Right? Some of you may be here thinking, I want to be better with women. I want to be healthier. I want to be fitter. I want to be more successful financially. This is the shit I've got to go through to get there. Who feels that way? Yeah, of course. That's the natural way of thinking a lot of us have is, how the hell can you be happy if your life is constantly in the state of, well, this is the shit I have to go through till I get there? Because remember, when you get there, you're going to find 15 other things you want. And then you just go through more shit until you get there. And then you get that, and then you go through more shit until you get there. But you can see that we're locked in this chronic state of not allowing ourselves to actually be happy. Okay? It's dangerous. So the first thing I want to do is think of any long-term goal and scratch that bad boy off the list if it's specific. Because long-term, it changes. Whatever you want now is in next year going to be totally different. And it should be allowed to be different. It's the future. It's vague. Every single one of us, James stated absolutely perfectly, we should always be learning. We should never stop. And if you're still learning, something may change next year about what you want in the next 10 years. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to set ourselves up instead, guys, with a long-term goal, with a direction. Forget goals. I'll come back to them. What you want to look at is a direction. What's the direction that I want to go? And what do I mean by this? Well, okay, let me give you my directions. Okay? For me, my directions are, I want to influence positively as many people's lives as possible. I want to be healthy as possible. And I want to educate myself as much as possible. I'm a huge fan of learning. Okay? I'm addicted to it. That's my goals. And what happens is, anytime something comes up in my life, a friend says, hey, let's do this. Or a larger life decision. Shall I move here or shall I move there? Or shall I spend money on this? Shall I spend money on that? All I need to do is consult these goals of mine, these directions, and say, it's a compass. Okay, it's a compass that we all have, and it's different for all of us, and it points to where we want our lives to be going. So anytime an important life decision comes up, what do? I look at this compass, I say, if I decide to do this, will I influence more people? Will I be healthier, or am I going to learn something valuable? And if the answer is no, then that's a really shitty decision to make. But it's a direction. Our lives should have direction. Direction's important. So the first thing I want you guys to do right now, I want you to take a moment and I want you to think, what's my direction? And it doesn't have to be specific. Words, individual words are enough. Okay? Have a think for a moment, guys. Things like adventure is a word. Peace is a word. Success is a word. Love is a word. Anything that you can think of, what's the direction your life should be heading? What's a vague notion of what words resonate with you? What words would you want written on your epitaph? Is boring a word you want written on your epitaph? No, maybe then exciting is a word that means something to you. Okay? Do you want to be recognized for having innovated something? Or do you just want to be recognized for being loyal? All these things represent direction. Guys, just have a moment. Have a think. Get down a couple of words. Okay, I'm going to keep talking for a second just to give you a chance. Why? Because I want you to have a direction. Because I want to finish this talk and you will know roughly, this is where I'm headed in life. This is where my life is going. That's important. It's very important. So here's the thing. We have a general direction in life. And I know, again, through my coaching, that a lot of people, they have this whole kind of long-term game plan, again, long-term, and we think to ourselves, well, this week I'm going to do that, and next week I'm going to do that, and next week I'm going to do that, and this is the game plan, this is how it's all going to fit together. I know this is taught a lot for developing businesses as well, this long 5-year business plan, yada, yada, short-term, medium-term, long-term. This is terrible stuff, guys. What you want to focus on, and this is what I say with my students, and it works magically every time, only ever focus on the next step. The next step of your life is the only thing that matters. At any point in your life, the next step is the only thing that matters. Everything else is mental masturbation. Everything else is totally useless to you. Only your next step. Okay? I don't allow anyone that I work with to create goals further than a week ahead of time. Because otherwise it's mental masturbation. And if we create goals that are further than a week in time, what do we start to do? Even if it's subconsciously, we create big goals. Big, hairy, audacious things that we want to achieve for achievement's sake. Right? And when you set goals, here's another part of your goal. Your goals that you set aren't allowed to be dependent on an outcome. See, here's another mistake we make. Typical example, guys go out to a club, they want to meet some girls. And what do? They say, well, tonight, dude, I'm telling you what, I'm going to get 3 numbers. That's my goal tonight. My goal tonight is get 3 numbers. My goal tonight, guys, is tonight, man, I'm getting laid. That's it. That's my goal. I'm going to freaking kick my ass until I get laid tonight. And here's the problem. It's outcome-oriented. It's outcome-oriented. And outcome-oriented with any goal is wrought with danger. Why? Because how much control do you have over making sure that goal is successful? Right? We can have influence over it. Sure. Right? Take some guys who have practiced a lot meeting women, picking them up. How much control do they have over it? Well, they've got a decent amount of influence. They don't have control. Okay? Short of manhandling the woman, they don't have control. So what does this teach you? You don't have control over your life. So what you want to start doing, guys, is any short-term goals you have, it's got to be something you do. Something that only relies on you, and it doesn't require any type of result to happen. What do I mean? Well, when I'm with students that go out, what are their goals? Oh, their goals might be, I have to ask 3 women for a number tonight. Their goals might be, I have to approach 9 girls tonight. Okay? When I'm setting up goals for me throughout the week, my goal isn't, my goal here, guys, isn't to, my goal is to be here and have you guys love me. My goal is to be here and do everything I can to have the greatest influence possible. That's it. Because this is part of my eudaimonic goals. This is part of my compass. This brings me closer to what? Influencing as many people as possible. It satisfies that. And guess what? It also satisfies education, because I'm going to hear some great stuff from some of the other speakers. So it's big. It's epic. It's really, really important. So guys, what I want you to have a think about now is, what are 3 things over the next week? 3 things that you are in control of that's actually going to move you closer to these eudaimonic outcomes. Have a think about it. You wrote down before that you wanted to be something. Okay, let's say that you wrote, I want to be adventurous. Let's say you wrote that down. That's one of my keywords, adventure. My life needs adventure. Whatever I do, adventure has to be one of the things I'm looking for. If I have a decision and adventure is a direction it could take me in, let's take it. So you might have a goal. Remember, let's only worry about the next step, guys. So you've got a goal. Tonight I'm going to go home, and I'm going to make a short list of all these things I could do, all these activities that won't cost too much money,